Hey you guys, hello. I'm so excited. So I've been having some super awesome conversations with some clients and potential clients over the last week or so as we've been getting ready to start up my next 90-day mastermind transformation program. Yummy goodness of wonderment. Hey Lavonda, hello. Happy Sunday. I'm trying to get this at an angle to where I'm not being totally washed out by the sun, but I'm actually tethered to the wall because my phone is needing charging. It's desiring to be charged and I don't want it cutting us off. Hey Brooke, hey Walker. Hello everybody. Hey Tom. So, oh my gosh. So what I'm about to share with you, if you guys remember about a week ago, hey Lindsay, I shared a video called Nobody's Bitch. And in this video, I talked a lot about how sometimes as in the human mind and in our human conditioning, we can allow things to stop us, right? Money, time, and as we move forward, hey Jana, we miss you too, Lindsay. As we move forward, we begin to recognize and see that we tend to have the same excuse or reason for why we can't do something. For most people, it ends up being something around time or money, depending on the person and their belief system. Some people, it's their age. So anytime something goes wrong or doesn't work out, they kind of fall back on that. Like, well, yeah, but it's because I'm 60, right? Or yeah, it's because I'm only 21 or whatever their story is. Give me a 1 in the comment if you know right now what your number one excuse is for why you don't follow inspiration or do the things that like your heart really desires. Put a 1 in the comments if you know what that is. For most people, it's time, money, their kids or their spouse. That's typically their block or their excuse. Put a 1 in the comments if you know. Okay, good. So you've got some powerful awareness, Lindsay, perfect, about what that thing is. Hi, Ada. Yes. So realize that we all have these and it gets to be different for everyone, and the root of the conditioning is also different for everyone. Some of it's cultural, some of it is in your DNA. So if you are from a family that's maybe struggled with money for a long time, yeah, Walker, you are such an awesome, hot, old, cool chick. That's so true. For some people, they have that totally like rocked my world, Walker. Anyways, so I'm like getting back on track right now. Hey Joe. So we'll have this same excuse and we'll see it come up time and time again. And so what I want to talk to you guys about is actually how we get to break down and break through this. And again, the how of really how to do this is something we get to implement and realize that your beliefs and your conditioning may be in, that's where I was going, in your DNA. So sometimes there'll be families that will have history of poverty and really struggling in money. Maybe they're farmers or, whatever, they clean homes or they have some sort of industry and it's passed down from generation to generation. And not only is the business passed down, but so is the experience of poverty. So put a 2 in the comments if you see that there is a DNA belief or condition that you see in your family. It may be a belief system around the way marriage works, a belief system about how to have kids or not have kids that you see is passed down actually genetically, not just in like, the parents teach the kids, and it keeps being passed down that way. But you see like, okay, yes, Brooke, there's like in our DNA, we have a block or belief system around receiving wealth and abundance, or I've seen this pattern in clients before where they believe that, everyone else gets credit for their work. It's really interesting. It's like, and they keep manifesting it, right? Because we always prove our beliefs true. So if you believe, oh, everyone else always gets credit for what I do, you will actually manifest, attract, and create that, right? And so, hey Mackenzie, hey Danielle. So we actually begin to see this in the way that it manifests in our experience. So part of the power of coaching, as you guys already have like heard me really reiterate many times, is the ability to break that stuff down and get awareness and clarity around where those belief systems are coming from so you can choose out of them. Jana says yes, money. She had a real laid back dad. Okay, well, cool. So we could probably dig into that a little bit deeper. I'm not sure where we're going with that because that could also just be a personality thing. Hey, Greg. All right. So guys, I'm really wanting to create some breakthroughs and breakdowns right here with this. And again, this how we actually get to step through this process, it's not like you just read the instruction manual and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, now I can do it. It will assist you in some breaking down of these things, but I just want you guys to start to contemplate. Don't try to logically figure out or understand what I'm about to say, but contemplate and allow your right and left brain to talk back and forth and communicate so you can really integrate what I'm about to share with you, okay? So, and I'm going to use a couple of examples because I've had the opportunity to discuss this at length, actually about over the last 10 days with multiple individuals that were moving through the application process to move into some of my programs. So this is what is the big shift. So we have these blocks about money. Let's use the example of money because that's a pretty common one for people, okay? So, you know, they see something they really want to do. Maybe it's investing in their business. They're like, I want to really grow my business or upscale it. Or maybe it's a family trip, or maybe it's a degree, they want to go back to school, or maybe it's they want to invest in coaching or a retreat or some sort of epic experience that they're wanting to fill into. And they get the inspiration like, yeah, I'm going to go do it. And they start getting everything all lined up to do it. And the camera is shaking because I'm using my arm to hold this up because I'm plugged into the wall because my battery is desiring some charging. So you get to see my muscles, but I'm a little bit shaking because I've been at this now for quite a few minutes. So, hey Deanne, hey Noah. All right. So back at it, you guys. So they're going for it. They're going to create this, and then this block about money shows up in their brain. They're like, no, I'm not going to do it because of money. And then in that moment, we talked about this last week, you become money's bitch. Money becomes your master. So then people will say, well, how? Well, like, how do I break through that? Because I look in the account and I'm literally not in the position to actually take a step to invest in the coaching or the education or the breakthrough program to assist me. Put a big heart emoji in the comments if you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've ever felt this way where you're like, okay, yeah, I don't want to let money be my master, but at the same time, there literally is this amount in the account. There's a reality. This can be frustrating for people because people say, well, be abundant and act abundant and don't let money stop you. And then they look in the account and they go, okay, but reality is this way. So what do you want me to do? It can become yes, Lindsay knows this, Ivy's felt this, Lavonda, yes. It can be incredibly frustrating. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm so glad you're joining. Powerful breakthroughs we're having right now. I'm so excited for you to be a part of this conversation. So you want to change this and you're going forward and you hear everybody saying this and you probably see their adorable memes all over Facebook, right? Like, own your life. You're the creator of your life. You're the creator of your experience. And at some point, it actually gets annoying. You're just like a little bit fed up with the positivity sometimes because you've tried for so hard and so long. You have invested in the coaches before and gone to the retreats and done this or put it on the credit card. And you're to the point where you're literally maxed out and you're thinking, holy shit, I can't do it anymore. And you keep telling me to believe and to be in the vibe of it, but I'm looking at the account and this is literally what it says. And I'm in the position where I'm even struggling to put gas in my vehicle. And George says you have to live in the real world. So this is what we're going to address. And this is what I'm excited to dive into today. So give me some hearts on the screen, you guys. Give me some love if you're ready for me to really dive into how we begin to shift this, even when we look at reality and this is just what's in the account. Here the hearts are coming. All right. You guys want it. Lindsay says, yes, tell me. All right. So I'm going to use this example because it's so just right on to really explain how this works. Okay. So in the past, I was experiencing, like, this is probably 4 or 5 years ago. I was in some interesting blocks and belief systems around money and abundance and the ability for me to create it, to attract it, to keep it, and to be in the flow of it, right? And that was the belief system I was operating in. And so because that was my belief system, I kept proving it true and attracting experiences that validated it. And you can imagine what that looked like. It was a pretty intense time. So we had quite a bit of debt. We had some student loans. We had some different things going on. It was pretty intense. And I went to this retreat and I invested a ton of money to go to this retreat. What was a ton of money to me at the time? It was $1,000 to go to this business retreat. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to this business retreat and I'm going to figure out all of this stuff so that I can begin to create wealth and abundance in my life and in my business and all of these things. So literally, this was all I had on my own personal credit card. I put it on the card. I went to the retreat and I got there and it was another sales pitch for another program that was like 20 grand for the year. And I honestly didn't even think I was a fit for the program. I didn't even consider it because that was way out of my realm of what was possible or what I even could believe could be true. So there are two big distinctions I'm wanting you to hear in this. Because your belief system's money, and someone jumps on and says, well, don't let money block you or stop you. Every time you don't move forward because of money and use that as the excuse, you're actually reconfirming the belief that money is your master. That is true. But however, to overcome the block about money doesn't mean you go, okay, well, I'm not going to let money be my master anymore, so I'm just going to go for it, and you rack up a ton of debt on credit cards. That is also not the solution. And this is what oftentimes happens with people, and I've seen this as a coach, is it's like they're blinded to the middle path. It's like there's either this one way of being where money owns me, or this other way of being where I'm just not even a wise steward of it, and I just swing all the way over here and I go, forget money, forget any of that. I'm just going to be abundant and I'm just going to go for it. And they like get blind to it, just like George was saying, and they disconnect from reality and they just spend it all. Right? And then people are like, they don't see there's a middle path. And the middle path is the way to freedom. Because the truth is, if money's controlling you over here, well, if you swing the pendulum way over here and you just start spending like crazy, guess what else is also controlling you? Money is controlling you again. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Jacqueline. I'm excited for you guys to be a part of this conversation. There's juicy stuff going on. So either way, money's controlling you in that scenario. So this is what we get to do. We get to recognize that it's not what we do, it's who we be. For example, George, you want abundance? Try Shakely. You have to work for it. George, you're really cute. Okay, so you guys, here we go. This is what we get to do. It's not about what you do. It's about who you be. Who are you being in that moment? When you feel inspired to do something and an obstacle shows up, maybe it's time, maybe it's money, maybe it's some sort of conflict in another area. And the minute that block shows up, you surrender and you're like, oh, okay, I guess I won't. I guess I can. I guess I'm a victim, basically is what you're saying. Then who are you being in that moment? You're being a bitch to circumstance. You're being everything else outside of you externally is your master. It's a whole nother thing entirely to be moving towards a goal or down the trail of something and to go, you know what? I feel so called to do this. I feel so inspired. A block shows up, money. Interesting. Okay. I'm seeing a block of money. I've experienced this before in the past. In the past, I remember I responded to it by shrinking inside, going into shame, feeling bad, and planning to start living my life in the future. Oh, once I'm making more money. Oh, once I hit this rank, or once I retire. Oh, once I, and I put it off. And I'm seeing now I'm choosing to be a conscious creator. And I'm going to trust that if I feel aligned to do this thing, that the way will be provided. And this is a new level of trust and surrender. This is the middle path that can Ada, don't worry. You can jump back on and rewatch this, you guys. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, click share or tag somebody below. This is some juicy stuff. Let's not be selfish. Let's share it out with everybody, okay? I love you guys. All right, so here we go. We get to show up in a different way, trusting and surrendering that the way will be provided when we're feeling truly inspired. Hey, Jennifer. All right, so this is what we do. In that moment, we go, all right, we get creative and we become solution-oriented. One of my favorite peeps of all time, Mr. Anthony Robbins, says this. He says, there's never a lack of resources, only a lack of resourcefulness. And this is something that, I design. Okay, so let's talk about this just for a minute, you guys. I want to use this example of my own coaching. So the coaching that I deliver and the kind of results that I delivered with people is so incredibly epic. Just some of the people I've started working with right now, the way things are shifting so fast in their life with abundance, money, relationships, it's just so juicy and exciting, right? So my coaching is a significant investment to some. And I know that. And I also knew that there are people who are like, I really desire coaching and I'm not in a position to fork out thousands of dollars or whatever it might be to do that, right? Give me a 5 in the comments below. And I'm jumping all the way to 5 because I can't remember the other numbers we already did. Give me a 5 in the comments below if you've ever felt this way. You're like, I see that I really desire coaching to up level my life. I see that this is the next step. And holy freak, how, like, all the coaches I want to coach with, their programs are like $10,000, $20,000. Like, where is the intermediate step? And oftentimes the intermediate step, you guys, is like a book, right? Which isn't interactive and doesn't assist with feedback. Or, you guys, it's some paid program online that's automated. And yeah, it's cool. And yeah, you're hearing from that person. But, you know, sometimes we get busy. We get distracted with life. We don't have the accountability. Typically, you know, our chance of actually completing the course is only about 10%, right? And so we invest in these courses and we do all this stuff because we really want to create change. And then we get distracted by life, or this happens and one of our blocks comes up that's been kicking our ass the whole time and actually stops us from completing the online course. And it's like, shit, what I really see that is my next step is coaching. Like, I want Nancy Ray to dive into my brain and assist me in getting clarity around where my blocks are. So put a 6 in the comment if you've seen, I feel sometimes like I'm wasting money on online courses and books and not actually seeing any transformation. A 6 in the comment. Look at all these 5s. Yes, Barbie, LaFonda, yes. Wendy, Ada, Jessica, Ivy. All right, Jana, we're all together in this conversation. Yes, Jessica's felt this way. So this is what I did. This is why I actually created my Inner Circle program, you guys, is I saw that people were not getting the support that they really desired. And as coaches, in order to serve as many people as you can and to still have it be lucrative in your business. So what I was doing before, I want you guys to see the shift in my own way of being and my essence of worthiness to receive. I've always wanted to assist and serve. So originally when I started coaching, I was like, all right, I'm just going to put it at like the minimum price that people can afford. And even then, people had their own blocks and shit around their own worthiness to receive. And so then I was trying to serve people. And I was trying to coach them, and I was charging like such a minimal fee that they weren't truly invested. They weren't really showing up because it's only $50 or whatever it was. And it wasn't jiving. It wasn't flowing. And I was actually going into debt in my business. And I had a business coach, the same coach I paid 20 grand to. And she's like, hello, this isn't even sustainable. You're literally going into debt every month. But I was like, I don't care. I'm here to serve. And it was my own martyr mentality that was continuing to manifest the same shit. And so what I realized was that I can assist many more people and for a much longer length of time when, like, you know, I have food, shelter, and like wealth and abundance and grace and flow and harmony in my life, right? So that's when I began shifting my own understanding around the way I was actually not serving certain people. So then I was like, all right, how can I still serve hundreds of people, still assist them in the breakthrough coaching, still assist them in the accountability and the awakening and the behind the scenes yummy juicy stuff, and have them feel like they have a coach in their pocket, but not be paying me the 10 grand that my top level clients are paying me, right? Because there's these different levels that we're growing through, right? And so like I have my Inner Circle program that's typically for people who are like, you know, I just want to get really started on the path. I want to start creating money in my business, that, you know, I want to start being in the green. Then I have like my masterminds, which are for people who are like just about to hit, you know, 6 figures and maybe multiple 6 figures, and they're moving up there. And then I got my one-on-one clients that are like, I'm really ready to blow the roof off of this. They're like stretching for that million, that 7 figure. Okay. So kind of these different layers and levels, and there's different levels of deep diving and attention for different layers where people are at, if that makes sense, you guys. Yeah, George, you know what this feels like when you invest in all these programs, but no real transformation. And that's because there's this step called integration that's typically missing, where we know the information, but we're not actually becoming it. So we're really about focusing on the being. So guys, I want you to hear this. So I had this download. I was like, all right, I want to serve thousands of people. How can I do this in a way that still is not going to put me in debt and be lucrative for my time, but with massive value add on the back end? And I had this vision to take all of those little programs that I used to sell for anywhere from $200 to $1,000 online, you know, the ones you've invested lots in, and give those as massive bonuses to people who sign up for my monthly coaching program. Only $300 a month, 2 group coaching calls a month, and accountability calls every single week. Plus deep dive behind the scenes, plus a monthly masterclass live, which if you like my lives, I do like this. Imagine this times like 1,000 in depth juiciness. It's super awesome. And it's interactive because it's all live. You can ask questions. You can post in the group, get coaching right. It's so good. So I saw this vision of like, all right, and I saw all the price points and all the things I could do. And like this one thing online was like, oh, you should be charging $497 a month, blah, 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 blah. And I just really tuned in and went, okay, I want this to provide the value. I want this to be an investment that creates people to be consistent. And I also want it to be really for that introductory beginner that isn't in a position for a $10,000 coaching program. So this is what manifested. This was the inspiration. So give me some hearts for Yummy Juice for following inspiration. So this is what I want you guys to hear for the next thing, the next level of awareness when it comes to how we let money stop us. You guys, it's crazy how we do this. So my Inner Circle program, I created it, and I still had people going, oh man, I just can't do it. It's so expensive. And I get that, right? $300 is an investment. It is a big commitment, certainly, especially depending on where you're at. It's all relative, right? And so I had people in that position, and I went, okay, how can I assist people in leveling up and not having money be their boss, their master? How can I actually show them real time? And this is what's crazy, you guys. And this is what I want you to hear. It's not about what you do. It's about who you be. I'll have people that will be on the phone with me and they'll see that, Inner Circle's $300 and they immediately go, oh, can't do it. They never reach out and ask what else is possible. They never do. It's crazy. And even like my $3,000 masterminds, my $10,000 one-on-one, like all these different layers and levels, like I'll say the price and people are like, oh, can't do it. I'm like, wow, they didn't even ask if there's a payment plan. They didn't even ask if there's other levels of coaching. They didn't even ask what else is possible. Hey, Lucille. So what I want you to hear is it's about not allowing your mindset to be a lack of resources. It's a lack of resourcefulness. What else is possible? So I actually created, and I've had this out since the beginning of my Inner Circle program. I have an ambassador program for my Inner Circle. So when I was seeking inspiration of like, okay, how can I serve these people even more on a higher level? And people who literally, there are people, you guys, that aren't in the position to pay $300 for coaching, but that desire it, right? They really aren't in the position. They're like month to month, week to week, trying to buy groceries. They decide whether they're buying groceries or driving, or whether they're driving that week or buying their kids' school supplies. My heart is there because I understand that process. There have been significant moments in my life where in the past that I wasn't even sure what that next month looked like. And it was like living on a prayer, baby, for like being able to pay power bill, whatever that is. So I understand that. And so I said, all right, what else is possible? And that's when I created the ambassador program. You guys, this is what the ambassador program is. It's for my Inner Circle peeps. Anyone they refer to Inner Circle. So they refer a best friend, sister, cousin to Inner Circle, and they say, hey, check out this program. That person gets to apply. I have an application process, and they go through the process. They do a call with me or one of my coaches, and they decide they want to join Inner Circle. Monthly coaching, $300 a month. For every month that someone you refer stays in the program, you make $100 affiliate commission. That's freaking amazing. Give me some hearts for that. So I actually had the whole download come that helped me map it out to be sure that it was supporting everyone. The reason this was created, you guys, is so if there was someone who truly was in the position where they're like, I literally cannot afford it and I desire so much coaching and breakthrough and transformation, that they could go, you know what, I'm just going to work my ass off and I'm going to, and they just get affiliate links, right, for all of my stuff, my videos, my pages. And they just share it through social media. They get on the phone, talk to their friends and family. Some of these people have, network marketing teams, and they can share it out. And then they can literally earn their way, pay their own way into Inner Circle. And so what I want people to hear and to understand is there's always a way. And so many people in my Inner Circle program don't even know about the ambassador program because they don't ask. And it's not something I typically, I don't know if I've ever even said this online, that I don't promote or share out because I want it to be something, George, come on. That's like blatant marketing on my page, bro. Not cool, buddy. Anyways, George has a message that he's super passionate to share. You guys, really recognizing that there's always another way. Always. And that it's about being resourceful and knowing that those resources are limitless and you don't know where the abundance is going to come from. I've had people, I don't do trades anymore, but I've had people in the position in the past where they were like, I really want this. And I'm like, all right, let's get creative. And they're like, I would love to serve you and add value in this way. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Recognizing, you guys, that the block is only the block if you allow it to be. It's only a block if you allow it to be. The excuse is only valid when you make it to be that way. If something shows up in your environment, you're moving forward and it says no, how you respond to that block determines who you're becoming and what you keep attracting next. You want to manifest crazy, begin shifting how you respond to the negative stimulus or the blocks in your environment. Go through them, grow through them, and become the most epic version of yourself. You guys, it's never a lack of resources. It's a lack of resourcefulness. If you truly want something, you're desiring something, and you're inspired, jump for it. Yes, George, and there are good times to ask and times not to ask. All right, so I'm asking all of you now. Thank you for being on here. I'm excited I jumped on and shared this. I was thinking I'd only jump in Inner Circle and share it, and then I'm like, you know what? It's time. I'm feeling called to share it. So let me know if you love this video. Share it out. Post someone in the comment, tag them below, private message it to someone. Let's share this powerful, juicy wonderfulness out there and realize, you guys, we are infinite, eternal, all-knowing, all-powerful beings of light. Stop letting little tiny things like old presidents' faces printed on paper stop you from creating and living the life of your dreams. Seriously, enough of that bullshit. I love you all so much. Make it a great day.